Several writings and prayers by Patrick of Ireland have been preserved to this day. Today we're going to have a look at what might be his most famous, the powerful and beautiful breastplate of St. Patrick. A breastplate is a piece of armor that protects the core of a human being. It protects the vitals, it protects the heart. This prayer is a prayer of protection. Some believe that Patrick and his followers actually sewed this prayer into their tunics. They literally wore this prayer, and they prayed this prayer for protection on their journeys and travels through dangerous and treacherous roads during their ministries. This prayer is sometimes known as the lorica, which is another word for breastplate. Sometimes it is known as the deer's cry. There is a story that Patrick and several of his followers were journeying to a village to preach. His enemies hired a band of brigands to lie in wait for them in a forest path. Now Patrick and his men arrived at the village on schedule and began to preach. Upon finishing their day's work, they left and they returned home safely. Now, the enemies, when they encountered these brigands, they asked, "Why didn't you stop him? We paid you to stop him." And the brigands said, "We never saw him on the road." They said, "Well, you must have seen him on the road. There was only one road through that forest, and he must have traveled upon it because we saw him arrive." And the brigands, getting angry, respond with, "We didn't see anyone. The only living thing to pass us that day was a herd of deer." And so the prayer became known as the deer cry. It shielded them from unfriendly eyes and protected them as they made their way in the service of Christ. The reason we wanted to mention that in an episode separately is because we wanted a chance to read through this prayer in its entirety. It is a prayer of protection, both spiritual and physical. Patrick and his men weren't just involved in a battle for protection of their bodies against brigands on the road, they were involved in a battle of spiritual warfare with the pagan deities and the demons of Ireland. Throughout this prayer, we hear of the unassailable power of God and of the constant and intimate presence of Christ in our lives. It is combined with an awareness and appreciation for the beauty of creation and the Lord of all creation. And the prayer is as follows. I arise today through a mighty strength, the invocation of the Trinity, through a belief in the threeness, through a confession of the oneness of the Creator of creation. I arise today through the strength of Christ's birth and his baptism, through the strength of his crucifixion and his burial, through the strength of his resurrection and his ascension, through the strength of his descent for the judgment of doom. I arise today through the strength of the love of cherubim, in obedience of angels, in service of archangels, in the hope of resurrection to meet with reward, in the prayers of patriarchs, in preachings of the apostles, in faith of confessors, in innocence of virgins, in deeds of righteous men. I arise today through the strength of heaven, light of the sun, splendor of fire, speed of lightning, swiftness of the wind, depth of the sea, stability of the earth, firmness of the rock. I arise today through God's strength to pilot me, God's might to uphold me, God's wisdom to guide me, God's eye to look before me, God's ear to hear me, God's word to speak for me, God's hand to guard me, God's way to lie before me, God's shield to protect me, God's host to save me. From snares of the devil, from temptations of vices, from everyone who desires me ill, afar and near, alone or in a multitude. I summon today all these powers between me and evil, against every cruel, merciless power that opposes my body and soul, against incantations of false prophets, against black laws of pagandom, against false laws of heretics, against craft of idolatry, against spells of witches and smiths and wizards, against every knowledge that corrupts man's body and soul. Christ, shield me today against poison, against burning, against drowning, against wounding, so that reward may come to me in abundance. Christ with me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ in me, Christ beneath me, Christ above me. Christ on my right, Christ on my left, Christ when I lie down, Christ when I sit down, Christ in the heart of every man who thinks of me, Christ in the mouth of every man who speaks of me, Christ in the eye that sees me, Christ in the ear that hears me. I arise today through a mighty strength, the invocation of the Trinity, through a belief in the threeness, through a confession of the oneness of the Creator of creation.